King's warriors came with the dawn. They saw the fresh blood, the scuffles. They returned to the hall to tell the king that the last Volsung was dead, and the king could hold the sword in safety. But the king was in great grief. His mother had been found that morning, dead, her tongue torn out of her mouth. Signa and the thrall went to the clearing, and as the ravens bounced and bickered over the scraps of rotting flesh, the bits of bone that had been Signa's brothers, they cleaned Sigmund's wounds, and the thrall took him deep into the forest, into the mountains where he could heal and grow strong. Signa nourished the first son she bore and his brother on tales of Volsung's strength, honor, and courage. And when her eldest son reached his 5th year, she took him out into the forest early in the morning before the sunrise. And he looked around. "What are we doing here, Mother? It's cold. It's dark. The land spirits are gonna get us." A Volsung does not fear land spirits, my son. We are here to send you to my uncle, your uncle, my brother, who will teach you to be a man, a warrior, and a Volsung. I'm not sure I want to be a Volsung. Does my father know about this? Your father knows everything your father needs to know. And Signa sewed up a small rip in the boy's tunic, and as she did so, she drove her needle deep into his flesh. "Ouch, Mother, be careful, that hurts." A Volsung does not fear pain, my son. When you find your uncle, give him this message for me. All pain brings choice. All choice brings pain. Do not let my pain, a mother's pain, blur your choice. Do I have to go by myself, Mother? There are wolves. A Volsung does not fear wolves. But after Signa's son had disappeared up the trail, she put her hands in her face and wept. Her son was not much impressed by Sigmund's cave. "Have your people give me something to eat. Mother wouldn't feed me this morning and I'm hungry." Sigmund handed the boy a bag of ground meal. "In this hall we feed ourselves. Knead this into a dough while I gather sticks for the fire." But when Sigmund returned with an armload of wood, the bag lay untouched in the kneading trough. There was something in it. It was alive. It wiggled. I thought it best to wait for you. So they ate apples and cheese, and that night, as the boy slept, Sigmund thought about the message Signa had sent him. And with merciful speed, he broke the child's neck and carried the body far into the mountains. The king and his warriors searched for the child they feared had wandered too far from the hall and been taken by wolves. And Signa went to a bush on the edge of the clearing. She saw the color of a scrap of fabric she knew Sigmund had left there, and she grieved. 2 years later, she stood again by that bush, grieving for her second son. She had no more sons to send to Sigmund. She went to the scythe woman and asked for a spell or a charm to block my womb, for the children I bear are taken by wolves. Your children, lady, aren't taken by wolves. You give your children to a wolf. They were not the sons I needed them to be. No son of Sigar the king can possibly be the child, the son you need him to be. For a son of Sigar's would end up killing his own kin. But it can be done. And the scythe woman took Signa into her cabin. She sprinkled herbs in each of the wicks of the 9 triple-wicked lamps. She drew a design on the floor. She stood Signa in the middle of the design. She began to chant in a dry and whispery voice, and as she chanted, she beat out an elaborate rhythm. And Signa, dizzy from the smoke, dizzy from the chanting and the rhythms, felt herself grow softer, rounder, wider, shorter, and her hair lay suddenly in brown curls on her shoulders. And she saw the scythe woman grow taller, more slender, with golden hair that fell to her ankles. And the scythe woman said, "Go to your brother as you are. He will see nothing but a free woman who can love where she wishes. I will go to the king. He will see nothing but what he has always seen." "What must I give you for this?" Signa asked. And the scythe woman answered, "You will give me nothing. I do not serve you. I do not serve the king. I serve the future. Now wear my clothes and go to your brother." And Signa walked along the path, recognized by no one. 9 months later, she gave birth to her 3rd son, an infant who was stronger, bigger, and certainly louder than his brothers had been. The king took the child out into the morning light, named him Sinfjotli, and called him his own, while Signa lay smiling. Sinfjotli grew faster than other children, and while others learned to crawl, he was running. He beat boys 3 times his age at wrestling, and the day that Sinfjotli decided he wanted to learn to ride a horse, he tried to climb the back leg of the king's stallion. He had not yet quite reached his 5th year when Signa knew the time had come. She took him into the forest early in the morning. He looked around. "Oh, do you think there are land spirits around here, Mother? It would be great to see a land spirit." "We didn't come to see land spirits, my son. I'm sending you to my brother, your uncle, who will teach you to be a man, a warrior, and a Volsung, right?" "Yes, a Volsung." When Signa sewed the rip in Sinfjotli's tunic, he did not flinch. When she ripped the cloth away from the stitches, he laughed at her because a Volsung does not fear pain. He was too excited to listen to any message she might have given him. And when she tried to warn him about wolves, he informed her that Volsungs don't fear wolves. Wolves fear Volsungs.